A commitment to racial justice at the church level, you should have a racial justice statement specifically focused on race. It should be part of your new members class. When you sign up for this congregation, you're signing up to be part of racial justice. And if that's not for you, then this church is not for you.
If a white church or a white listener really wanted to know how they could be an ally in the fight for racial justice, what do I do differently than I'm doing now?
Well, if we're talking on a congregational level, your church has to vocally, publicly, and in a sustained way pursue justice. It's not so much about the level of demographic diversity in a congregation. It's about whether my concerns and priorities and the things that affect me and my family are concerns and priorities for the congregation. This is why so many Black people felt alienated when we found that 81% of white evangelical voters who voted for the previous president. All of our concerns about the rhetoric, the policies, the actions just made no difference, right? But it was clear that what concerned us didn't concern the leadership or the rest of the congregation. And so it's that commitment to justice that will tell us differently. And the reality is there might be churches, maybe simply because of where you are located geographically, that will never really be all that racially or ethnically diverse, but you can still pursue justice. And you got to do that vocally, meaning publicly. A commitment to racial justice at the church level, you should have a racial justice statement specifically focused on race, right? Like not just broadly justice. Race is the dividing line, the literal dividing line in our country. It should be part of your new members class. It should be part of that curriculum that says, when you sign up for this congregation, you're signing up to be part of racial justice. And if that's not for you, then this church is not for you. It should be so embedded in the curriculum. People are getting it naturally and organically in Sunday school, in Bible studies on Sunday morning, not just the specific sermon series, but it's in different illustrations, different applications, different topics that you address. Churches occasionally will need to make, I think, public statements about issues of justice. And so I'm not saying every single national event, but probably more than we're used to. So those are a few ways I think churches can begin to tackle the issue of justice, which that I think should be the pursuit. And diversity it comes along with that pursuit of justice. But if diversity is the goal, then guess what? You can reach a certain level of diversity, and then you think your work is done. Really, the pursuit is all about trying to keep these different people together, which most of the time means avoiding touchy but important topics for the sake of a form of unity that's not real, true, deep unity at all.
That's a great point. If you really want to get to racial justice, you're going to have to go beyond that as the goal. And that's a really good word. And I think that'll be scary to some folks. To me, it feels like that when you genuinely love people, you want the best for them. You want the best for everybody. And so then you're going to make a commitment to do the hard, doable things, around systems and laws.
I think all of this is hard, but it's not complicated. Jesus makes it so simple when asked, what's the greatest commandment? Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. And so when it comes to racial justice, if you really want to break it down, it is wanting for your neighbor the same thing you want for yourself because of deliberate policies. Even our homes, they could be the same exact square footage, the same exact model, but because it's in a Black neighborhood, it's going to be valued less than it's in a white neighborhood. Loving our neighbor simply means I want for my neighbor what I want for myself, and what can I do to get there?